Not
Well,
me.
I see some people back. You do it.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. So today, what we thought we would do is we would talk about marketing automation. And the reason we want to talk about that is because there's so many things that have been disrupted in our lives from a business standpoint and personally, quite frankly, that have actually done something that we have a very finite amount of. Linda, what would that be, that finite amount?
I'm sorry, I wasn't concentrating.
Focus, that's right. Focus. No, actually, it's about time. It's about time.
God, that's everything.
And so think about that. Think about that. Like in the last few years, what has changed in your life that you're going, wow, I kind of take it for granted now, but it's actually given me back more time, either personally or professionally. Roy, what do you think?
I think I'm busier now than when I worked sometimes.
But do you seem to have different sets of tools that seem to sometimes automate or make what you do easier, faster, more efficient, or have you adopted any of those tools?
Yes, the national local website that we use when we're counseling a lot. That helps a lot.
Okay.
It really does.
So you can now counsel people anywhere on the planet, right?
Yeah, but I mean, on one-on-one counseling in the office, I could turn right around to the computer and pull up a lot of information. Right
So your source is right there.
Right.
Unlike the days, and I know this is now really dating myself, unlike the days where you said, hey, I've got to go to the library or I have to go to an encyclopedia and research that. I mean, Google has made that so much different. Ron, for you, what kind of things have changed for you when it comes to tools that we use from an automation standpoint?
Actually, we've automated the process. A good example of this is that now we sign everybody in on an iPad versus a piece of paper. And the problem I see with this whole thing in the industry itself is that you've got to get people to catch up. Like a good example is the government says, we don't have a paper copy. What is it? What is good is it? Hey, who knows what good it is? But people like paper copies. And then in one of our chambers, they want a list of who was at that event, and they want the email addresses. So they're still on a paper level. So it's a matter of the world catching up with technology. And that's always going to be an issue. I don't care where it is. I mean, there's still people that ride horses around. They get somewhere in certain communities, or they have a horse and buggy, So.
But it's efficient for them at that
Oh,
point,
yeah, but
right?
it works. I mean, you got to do what works for you. But here, automation is, it's fantastic. We never could have done this stuff 25 years ago.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, you're in the Screenwriters Guild. I mean, what kind of things have changed there from a standpoint of even writing a screenplay?
We can share it, that's the thing. We have a website now and people can individually, and what we're doing, I told them to contact you guys because they need to lock it down so we can only share and only members can go in and click and access that part,
So it's a situation where, as an example, let's say, for instance, you're writing something and Alan would be a contributor. You could actually have him collaborate on that specific product. And then you could actually do that again. When Alan's somewhere, who knows, he's in Utah at the time or in Idaho, he could be collaborating with you and you're in, Colombia.
Well, we have a blind screenwriter in Canada and all summer I've been updating his stuff until he comes back into the valley.
So it's made that downtime that would have been handled because of separation. Now there's no such thing as separation. You can do it anywhere. Cool.
I like texting.
Texting, absolutely.
Because it saves so much time.
Did she say texting or sexting?
I like them both.
Okay. So texting, how has that changed things for you?
Oh, it's just a quicker response. I spend less time blabbing because I can blab a lot. And so, but I can get it done real quick like that. So I like that.
Okay.
There's a new platform called Blab.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Darn, I'm late again on that. Always late again on those things.
I remember a
But
survey.
I've been blabbing for so long, it's only been around for 2 months.
That's all?
You should have trademarked that.
I know.
Lab.com.
Well, I'm gonna trademark, that's all. How about that? That's all?
No, it's taken. Don't test me. That's all, folks.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
So
you
when it-
plagiarize.
So when it comes to utilizing tools that make us do more with less effort, the tools are almost endless. And quite frankly, they're changing every day. And we want to talk about some of those things today, specifically in business pieces. And because of the group size, I think we can dive right into say, hey, what would make it easier for you, Alan, to do what you're doing? And are there automated tools out there? And how would you use it, right? Or Roy, you're saying, hey, you feel like you're working harder now, or you're as busy or busier than you were when you're working full time. That's because you have like a senior vice president or something behind your name, right? You're just delegating. Now you have to do it, right?
Executive vice president.
I'm calling, executive. I'm calling him on the carpet. So anyway, so think about that from a business standpoint. Like if you could imagine it, this is the cool part. It can get done. It's probably someone out there is actually inventing what you're looking for right now. Okay, so like what one piece would make it easier for you to do what you want to do? If there was an automated piece out there.
I think they're pretty much out there. I mean, the thing that amazes me is if we just brought in a 16-year-old kid, he's in a web series. I mean, like he was explaining, like I guess Justin Bieber has a 4-minute like video out there. It has like 1.2 million viewers, and so based upon the ads that he's making, 500,000 off of each one of his little 4-minute series. So, I mean, it's just amazing that the schools need to catch up with what's happening in automation. You know, and like I said, it's difficult from what I'm taking on because you've got people that want to write for television, you know, for I guess they call it teleplays and web series, and then the regular screenplays and then animation. And even now with the new video games that are coming out, their newest one's going to have 111,000 lines of dialogue. So you now have to learn how to write for that.
Wow.
You know,
Which is
so
a great opportunity,
it's
right?
a great opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm actually my screenplay is going to be pitched at the end of October to Netflix.
Outstanding.
Wow, so, you know, but I mean, trying to lead a group of people that are that diverse, it's like,
Yeah. It's almost makes you, now it could be a situation, I don't know if you guys were here maybe 2 years ago. And we actually invited a guest online.
Yeah.
And so she was able to collaborate and actually be here and ask or answer and have questions asked of her live and interact. I mean, there's a situation you say, hey, I don't know all the answers, but I know how to find somebody and get them online, get them on the screen and say, let's go forward with it. So that could help, right?
Yeah.
So now you're that person who says, it reminds me of that story about Henry Ford when he was being chastised and said, hey, you know, you're ignorant, you shouldn't be running this company. Trying to take it and says, hey, you know what? I don't need to know everything. I just need to know what button to push because under that button is the expert I need to get things done. Why would I fill my mind with all this information that really is nonsense to me when Alan has, when I need to know, can I make a V8 engine in line? Can he do it? I don't need to know it. I just need to know I want it done, right? So that could change the way we do business tremendously, right? And instead of flying people all over the country in for a meeting, we have one of our clients, he does telemedicine all over the world. You know, he has a big, huge screen like this, and he sits down there with a cool picture of a, what was it? It's
a beach scene with a
beach scene
hammock
behind him, so it's refreshing for people to watch. And he can do this medicine all over the world.
What is it called?
Telemedicine.
Oh,
Telemedicine.
it
Yeah.
must be an update. I used to have something like that when I was able to use Roy Wilson's boardroom for commission for women meetings.
Same kind of thing.
But
Yes.
it's something a little bit different than
Yeah.
what you're
The
talking
new
about.
one is telemedicine man. That's it.
Oh, telemedicine.
Telemedicine man. There you go. Telemedicine. Get that? No, like that.
Go write with somebody else.
Are you kidding me? I'm writing it down like an idiot. I'm believing you.
First Nation.
Telemedicine man. Okay. Okay. So
It could
in
be
this,
anything you want.
in this, we think about things like, hey, what's been transformed or automated in the last 10 years?
Oh, the automatic, you go through and it gives you.
That's right.
windshield.
It used to be saying, hey, we want to go, there was a freeway, there's a freeway called Toll Road 243, you're probably familiar with it, okay? It used to be like, hey, that's really cool because I can go through there and I can stop and pay, right? Cool.
Throw it.
throw it.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, throw it.
Then we went over there, I don't know, maybe like a year
Yeah.
later, and the toll booth is shut down. Can't use it. You can't use it, but you can use the road. But what they do, they snap a picture of your license plate, and you have, what is it, like 5 days, I
Yep.
think, to pay that
Yeah.
online, or they send you a little notification. Well, that's automating that whole process, because it's all done by computers. And it sent me a reminder, oh geez, if I pay it now, it's $2.40. If I wait another couple days, it was gonna be like a $175 fine.
Wow.
Trust me, I paid. So, but that's the kind of thing. So what are the things that have changed where it's more automated?
Now the fine has changed, it's $500.
$500.
It's $5 to take the road if you pay online after, and it's $500 if you don't pay within, like, you got 10 days.
Yeah, some kind of period.
Credit cards,
Credit card.
updating them all through with the sliding them into that little, whatever you call it.
Oh, even more so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use your phone.
Well, we got this where, Ron, we were talking about this the other day, Ron, about banking. Do you have to go to the bank to deposit checks anymore?
Right here.
Take a picture, and it's in your bank account. How cool is that, right? Or now there's, what is it, Google Wallet,
Well,
Mhm.
Apple Pay.
Apple Pay is awesome because Apple Pay, you just carry your phone and put it in front of a little gadget up at the counter and it takes the money out of your account.
How good is that? So, there's all kinds of things. It's almost endless. If we went to a specific industry, somewhere here in the automobile industry, wow, think of all the changes. Think about things that have disrupted when it comes to even entertainment. How many of you have a car that has satellite radio in it? Satellite radio, like Sirius or something like that? Yeah, it's totally disrupted the local market. I mean, we have a dear friend who's in the radio industry here locally, and he says it has decimated their business. They had to change their whole business model because otherwise it's not one of those things saying, hey, they would come to Ron and say, Ron, let's run an ad. Well, who's listening? Well, I can't give you that information. There's no real Arbitron rate. There's no rating like that. We think there's about this many people listening. Well, why would Ron put his money into that? Or what is worse, what's happened is where I used to say, okay, Ron, for that ad, it would run, and let's say it costs you $50 every time it runs, and you do 10 a month, and it's $500. Now it's like $20 or $30 or $5 because the value of it has gone down. So they're working really hard to say, how can we get that out there? Some of the things they've done is they said, well, now we will simultaneously stream that online. So they're kind of taking themselves online, but we still can't quite access it in our cars yet. But you can listen to, a radio station that might be really weak on the east side of the valley. You can now listen to it online. So when you're driving, have you ever done that, Linda, where you're driving your car and all of a sudden you get to a certain point, you can't really pick up that radio station any longer?
No, because I put my CDs in and I like to listen to.
Let's stay with the.
No, you're just asking me a question. I'm not gonna make up
And your
anything.
insurance
Okay, so
rates.
that's never happened to you. Alan, has that ever happened to you where you're driving and all of a sudden?
Oh,
the
yeah, you
station
go out in the
picks up?
zone,
Yeah,
go in the mountains.
yeah. But if you're using Sirius or a satellite radio, I mean, you can drive coast to coast and never really lose the signal. Or
And
now
no,
you,
no commercial.
no commercials, commercial free, that's right.
Well, what was the name of the radio thing that you were sharing? That's taking away your friend's business or
It's just satellite radio, Sirius, there's.
Sirius?
Sirius. Yeah.
Yeah, most
S-
cars have options of.
XM,
It's like the word serious.
Here's
Oh,
another,
No,
yeah,
No?
here's another disruption in that specific market.
Oh.
2015 cars, if you got to look at a brand new car, they now have it where there's a podcast. They're like podcasts in there. Well, podcasts are on demand. So now you don't have to say, well, let's just hear what's coming up on my Sirius radio. No, you can now pull out your phone and say, well, I like to listen to Linda blab, and she has a podcast. I can actually now say, I want to watch that or listen to her on my radio or my entertainment situation on demand. So she might have, let's say, a weekly show, and I'm driving across town, and it's 20 minutes, and she has a 20-minute show. I can listen to her. So now and this takes away from things like my CDs, even though if you went to my car right now and listen to CDs. Yeah. But you can now say, I can turn my car into an educational place,
That's right.
right? Like there's a guy out there named John Lee Dumas, and he interviews people from all over the planet and asks them very specific questions about what makes them successful.
What's his
Well,
last name?
Dumas, D-U-M-A-S, only one S at the end, one D at the beginning.
Thank you.
And so now you can listen to that and hear all these different stories about technology or medicine or how, what, you name it. He's got what, over 1,000?
He's on 1,000. Yeah, I think it's over 1,000 interviews now.
Yeah, and here's the cool thing. Yeah, because he kind of, his ideal client, how long do they spend time in the car? It was between 22 and 28 minutes, so that's how long his interviews are. So you can listen to one a day, if you will, you know, if you're commuting back and forth to the office.
One a day.
Yeah, there are so many. So thinking about that, what's been out in the last 10 years? Let's go to the next slide.
Does he make money doing it?
Only about, what is it?
300,000 a month.
300,000 a month. Yeah.
That's before taxes.
So Andrew, have you been interviewed?
Yeah, episode 166.
He was on, and then you actually had him on your show too, did you not?
Yep.
So,
Exactly 2 years ago.
so, anyway, so Andrew, talk about some of the useful tools that are now online for us.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you to the live screens in a minute, but these are some of the tools that we use in our business. Jeff and Amy use in their business to automate some of their marketing. So this one's called Hootsuite. Has anybody heard of Hootsuite? Have you heard of Hootsuite?
From you,
From me.
you shared it.
Alan, have you
What's
heard of
it
this
called?
one? Hootsuite. Hootsuite.
No.
Okay. I'm going to dig into that in a minute. But Hootsuite is essentially a social media dashboard. So one of the biggest complaints that we hear often is that we don't have time to do social media. Right? We don't have time to run our Twitter account, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and that sort of stuff too. Right? So Hootsuite is a dashboard that lets us automate a lot of this stuff. So Janelle, if we're thinking about writing some posts for your the Writers Guild,
No, the screenwriters.
Screenwriters Guild, what do you call it?
It's called Screenwriters Group.
Group, okay, Screenwriters Group, okay.
Are we are number one on the website when you get us done. You took all your sites.
Good job, I love it. So when you're writing some posts for social media, you know, it can take a lot of time because you've got to craft those posts, put them together, then you've got to log into the system, into Facebook, for instance, go and do your post, and you log out, you go to Twitter, and you do your post, that sort of stuff. It can take a lot of time. What Hootsuite does is it actually lets you do it all from one spot, Alan. So you don't have to keep logging into LinkedIn, you don't have to log into Google+, you can do it all from one spot, put your message up there, and send it all out to everything at once.
So what falls in the basket of my client?
Yeah,
When
so
I've used that, what does he get to see?
So anyone that's following you on these social media platforms will see whatever you've posted. So let's say you've written a post about, you know, today, here's my thought of the day, and you put a piece of brilliance up there, Alan's thought of the day, right? You put it out there, and then you can have it go out to all of the different platforms that you're on. So if you've got a LinkedIn profile, it will be posted out to your LinkedIn profile.
Okay, so I need the links to the platforms.
Yeah, you set this up in the beginning.
Right.
You set this up in the beginning. Once you've got an account here, it will do the hard work for you. It will do all the legwork, do the automation for you.
Right.
The other cool thing about this is that you can actually time set it. So right now, as we speak, I think I've got a few things going out to my social media followers right now because I've set those up previously.
Okay, so you're saying it goes to LinkedIn, Facebook?
Whatever platform you can think of,
Everyone you.
it's got YouTube, it's
Oh,
got
wow,
platforms you've never heard of before.
okay.
Right, so you can send it out to whatever platform you want. I'll dig in, I'll show you the back end, I'll show you the dashboard of that in just a moment. But you can schedule stuff too, Alan. So you can sit down and say, you know what, today is my day of scheduling. For the rest of October, I'm going to schedule my posts. So I don't have to go back onto my social media platforms and come up with new content all the time. I can just put it into the Hootsuite dashboard, set the times and the dates I want those posts to go out exactly at those times at that platform. Does that make sense? You follow that?
Yeah.
So Hootsuite's a pretty cool tool.
Does it cost to do?
Yes, it costs. So there is a free version. So if you've only got 3 platforms, let's say you've only got Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you can use it for free. If you've got more than those, it might cost you a whopping $10 a month for all of the platforms.
Yeah, payment plan.
Payment plans, yeah.
Weekly plans, yeah.
Do they charge interest?
And they take Apple Pay. So that's Hootsuite. The other one that I like is called Buffer. Now, Buffer is it's a scheduling, same sort of thing as Hootsuite. But what I like about Buffer is that I can set the times that I want my people to see my posts, and my followers to see my posts. Now, LLM would be your ideal audience. When's their best time that they're online, you think, for you?
Oh, morning,
Morning.
yeah,
What time morning?
like 7 to 9.
7 to 9. Perfect. So with Buffer, you could set all your posts to go out between 7 and 9.
Uh-huh.
You can say 7:01, 7:32, 8:03, and those posts will go out at that time every day.
Depending on how long my post is.
No,
Oh.
you can have whatever size you like. But here's the cool thing: you can have 100 posts stacked into your Buffer
As inventory.
as inventory, basically. Yep, set them all up, and then at those times, when those times come, it'll send one of those posts out at that
Like
minute.
the old record thing.
Exactly right. That's exactly their logo.
Yeah, same as Hootsuite, right, basically?
Hootsuite does the same sort of, but no, Hootsuite you've got to manually set the times.
Okay, I mean, but it's
What I
the
like
same
about-
concept.
Same concept. What I like about Buffer is that you've already set the times once, you don't have to do it again. So it's just it's like the old record concept, exactly. Now, if you've set up, let's say you've set up 4 times to go out between 7 and 9, okay?
Right.
7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. At 8:30, the last one goes out. That's it. Nothing else goes out now until it meets 7 o'clock the next morning again, and the same time goes out. So it's pretty cool. Once again, I'll show you what the back end looks like as well. So that's Buffer. Now they're only for social media tools, for marketing stuff. But here's a couple of other tools that I want to share with you that are really changing the way we do things in everything we do with automation. This one's called Zapier. Now Zapier is a tool that lets programs connect and talk to each other. Okay, so every program is built. They had this thing called an API, and I'm not even going to tell you what that stands for because I don't know. And nor do I care really, and you don't have to worry about it either. Just know that this is like the window to the back end of the program. A lot of these programs these days, in the old days when a program was built, it was built, say Microsoft came in and they built a program, it was completely locked up. You could not get access to the nuts and the bolts or the guts of the program because only people in Microsoft would know how to use that program and work it. But what happened, talk about disruption, what happened in the late 90s was that some smart people like Apple and like Google come along and said, you know what, we've got this awesome program. We've got this powerful engine behind us. But we're only letting the employees that we've paid for come along and use it. But there's a lot of smart people out there. Why don't we let them have a play with our engine? As long as they build programs that fit in with our engine. Does that make sense? So they open up the back end. This is why now we have all sorts of apps on our phones. Did Apple build every one of those apps on your phone, Roy?
No.
No, they didn't, right? Because they opened their platform up and said, we have an engine, we have an Apple engine. Let's get some smart people, whether they're in India, China, Russia, it doesn't matter. Whoever has a problem to solve and build an app, let's let them use our workforce. Let's let them use our engine, and they can build an app to go with that engine. So this is what an API does. So now most of the programs that we use, whether it's Google, whether it's your accounting software, whether it's light bulbs, Philips have an electronic light bulb, whether it's all of that sort of stuff, they've opened up the back end so that now you can connect 2 different programs together. Once you start doing that, the options are endless. So I'll show you what they call this a recipe. I'll show you what that does in the back end, but give you an example. I have a client, a consulting client that has automated a lot of his business. He goes to the cities and he takes photos of the records that have come through every week, new planning permits and that sort of stuff. He takes a photo of it and he puts all the data together. Now what happens is that he spends 7 hours manually entering that data from a photo that he's taken at the city. Okay, so 7 hours is, what could you do with an extra 7 hours, Roy?
I can Get in a lot of trouble.
in a lot of trouble. So he spends 7 hours. So what we did, we used Zapier, and now he actually takes a photo with his phone, and the minute he takes the photo into his photo roll, we've connected up so that it automatically now goes into Dropbox. Does everybody know what Dropbox is? Dropbox is just a folder system. It automatically goes into Dropbox. When that folder reaches Dropbox, Zapier now is hooked up to his email program. It sends an email to an outsourcer in the Philippines that says, hey, here is the file that I've just uploaded. Now remember, all he's done, he's already doing the same work. He just took the photo, okay, of this sheet of paper that's sitting. He's just taking the photo, that's all he's done. And in the background, this file goes to the folder sends an email out, well, he sends an email out to this person in the Philippines who starts working on it straight away.
Oh, so they do it.
They
He's
do it.
passing the buck.
Yeah, but in the old days, he had to go home and download the photo,
Oh, yeah.
upload it, have to look at it. So even just that step alone,
And to whom does he send then those?
to somebody who's paying, somebody's paying $2 or $3 an hour to go and do the work he was spending 7 hours doing.
Is that what it costs?
On the photos?
Yeah, the film, yeah. So what he does, so what they're doing data entry for him. Okay, but that whole step is automated. So by the time he actually gets home from visiting the city halls, the stuff that he was going to do tomorrow is already done, because these people have got the data that he was going to send them home. He doesn't have to wait till he gets home.
And is this data like records of
Just records,
automobile registrations?
all of that sort of
titles?
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Title.
That's the same type concept that information goes onto your credit report.
Right.
And that's why years ago, there were so many errors, because the credit people would
Manual.
send, sometimes 3 bureaus go out manually do it, and they write them on a piece of paper, then they key them in, then they automated it. Even when they automated it, when they're, and they share it with all 3 bureaus, they buy from one person, they still have a lot of typo errors because I was sitting there at the city hall doing this, and they didn't hire the sharpest people in the world sometimes to do it.
No,
No, they
you're
were
kidding.
complete, some were complete idiots. That's the problem they had, you know. And they skip over pages, all of a sudden, somebody has a public record, a lien was released, and it never shows up. So that's why people say the credit reports are lousy, well, it's only the input, you know what I mean? So I was in that business for 40 years, so I know
Oh
exactly.
my goodness, how many errors did you?
I was just
I
gonna say that.
didn't do that kind of stuff. No, I wouldn't. No.
His error was being there for 40 years.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking of your, I'm sorry, apology letter you need to send to someone.
No.
Anyway, so my point is that we automated this process, right? So that now he's
Yeah.
still doing the same amount of work,
Yeah.
like taking the photo, but by the time he gets home, that stuff has been done for him.
So the advantage is saving time.
Totally.
Okay.
Time's a
And
big thing to
cost.
save, right?
And cost.
Because
Yeah.
what could you do with an extra 7 hours a week?
Oh, well, I don't think it's used to tell you. I'm kidding.
Did you say you could blab more?
Blab more.
I'm
Yeah,
question.
blab more.
Okay, now with all the OCR recognition software,
Yes.
because I know you can take a file and scan it to your computer and you can go to Word. Why can't they just take that directly from a scanned document right into?
They can. His issue is that there's so many different documents, not a consistent document. It's not a consistent document for the data to be consistently put into the right the file cells of his format.
Yeah.
But yes, you can. That is an option too. If he was doing the same thing over and over again, yeah, OCR would be the way to go.
So the data that goes in and somebody puts it in.
Yep.
Then what do you do with that? Do you then have it ready to send?
Yeah,
out?
he puts it into a program that creates a report.
As long as it's
So once he's created that, once they've done that, put that data in the file, it's created a report. They put that file that they've just created back into a Dropbox. Automatically, Zapier now sends him an email to say it's ready, but it also sends it out to the people that are paying him money for that report
public record, right?
automatically.
He's talking back to the bureaus or other people like that.
No. It's private individuals that are paying for this data to be collected and collated.
So it's not information that's gonna change between now and tomorrow if it's records.
No.
Those are solid.
Public
That's
record.
right. That's right. It's records from the city. But one of my point is that he's now taking a 7-hour data entry process and he's automating it through Zapier so that he doesn't have to do it anymore. Now he's got a full day of work, or a full day to go and do other things that he likes to do.
But he's denied cloning and whining about how hard I'm working. You know, you're eliminating that.
It's terrible, right?
Still working hard.
Terrible. Still working hard.
Still a big job. That's the biggest.
I
area.
work-
Once we automate that out of our lives, we'll be awesome. So that's just an
So
example of
as long
that.
as it's public records and there's no confidentiality.
Forget about the details there.
Yeah.
Just understand that what we're doing is the process, okay?
Okay.
Forget about what he's doing. It's not important.
This is
It's-
To
an
answer
example.
that question, there is no confidential public record.
No, it's public records. That's
Anyway,
right.
good. So it's not, that's a problem with it, but that's the way it is. You know?
Yeah.
I understand the process, right? Understand
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
doing
it's
is
the
we're saving
example.
his, we're automating his steps, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether I use public records or any other thing. There's a whole bunch of other things that you can do with this. Accounting, for instance, like you can if somebody buys a manuscript from you, let's say you sell it with your story, and you buy they buy a something from PayPal. All you've got is PayPal. They spend $20 and they buy something from you. You can now automate that connection from PayPal into your CRM, your MailChimp or whatever it is that you've got, which automatically send out emails to them to say thanks very much for buying my product. It'll put them into the right particular folder. So it lets you automate anything like that. It can even then, once you've got an email address that goes into your CRM, it can send them an invoice and put it into your accounting software. Right, so all this stuff can be completely automated as well. We'll show you that. And the last one is called it's called IF.
Yeah.
It used to be called IFTTT.
Okay.
If this, then that.
Oh.
If this, then that. That's what it's called. Bit of a mouthful, but it's pretty cool because it lets you do a lot of cool things. For instance, a lot of the social media stuff, but also some crazy things. Has anyone ever seen the Philips light globes that are connected to Wi-Fi?
The what?
Light globes? Philips put out a light globe.
Oh, a
Right.
bulb?
Light bulb,
A bulb? Sorry.
a bulb in America.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Country lane. Sometimes a word gets in there, I can't remember what.
What's it called in Australia?
A globe.
A
Globe.
A
Yeah.
globe.
With no,
Bulb, we can call it bulb. I'm okay with bulb.
but no states on it.
No states, no countries.
Okay, what about?
So the bulb, Philips bulb, is connected to your Wi-Fi network. Okay, these are smart lights. Now you can do some really cool things with IFTTT. I still call it IFTTT. You can do some really cool things. For instance, if somebody specific on your phone rings, it can change the color of the light bulb, or it can make it flash, or you can have all sorts of things like if the weather outside is raining, you can turn on my air conditioner or my heater. So there's all these really cool things.
Instruction thing.
It's a doing app. It makes things do things, basically.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is.
Yeah. And I'm
Can
gonna
it
show you.
turn on your car?
It can turn on your car if you've got the ability for it to do that. Yes.
Check for bombs first.
Yes. So anyway, I'm going to jump into the jump into some of these sites and just give you the rundown. Is that what you want to do, Jeff? You want to do that?
Sure.
All right. So let's wake up little man here. Can you all see that now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going back to Hootsuite. Okay, I'm not going to dig into here too long. But this is Hootsuite. So this is for our social media stuff. Are you using social media at all right now?
Yes, limited.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What are you using?
Um, YouTube
Mhm.
and Twitter.
Twitter. Okay, good.
Yeah, because I can't think bigger than 140 videos.
Well, you better start changing that because they're about to change. That's another
I
story.
don't care.
Yeah, they will.
They are.
Jill, are you using it?
They have to
It's
get
Facebook and LinkedIn.
Facebook and LinkedIn? Linda, what about you?
it's a new one I'm inventing called Nava.
Wow. Okay. So basically, this is the dashboard of one of my Twitter accounts. Actually, a couple of my Twitter accounts. But what this does is it lets me look at everything that's happening on my Twitter accounts. Now I've got three accounts and I manage a few others. So I've got one Twitter account there, one Twitter account there. But it lets me see everything at once. I don't have to keep logging in and logging out to different accounts.
That's
I can actually go back and I can, for instance, I can look at this person here. I can actually respond to them from within this account. Okay,
So that's the dashboard.
this is the dashboard. I can do
Okay.
all of my social
That's
stuff from
nice.
one spot,
I
which
like
saves me a lot of time,
Very nice.
right? Because I don't have to log in and log out. If I want to go and check out my Facebook pages, I click on my Facebook tab and look at the different timelines that are blank here. Here they come. So I can see who's posting on my pages or what things have been happening on my pages, so I can go and check out and respond or comment on these from within this dashboard.
So you need to respond to all of those inquiries.
No, not necessarily. These ones here are me actually.
But they're there for you to.
These ones here are me posting this. This is me posting this. This person here is asking a question. Well, no, it's a question is outright promoting something spammy, so I'll probably get rid of that. But I can, if anybody's commenting on these things, I can actually go back and comment on them as well. So I can use that from here. If I'm in LinkedIn, over here I've got LinkedIn, so I've got different things that I'm posting or other people are posting, my network updates. I can go and write back to this person. I can go and reply. I can go and check out what's going on in LinkedIn, all from the one spot. So I don't have to keep going in and out, which is really, really cool. But the other part that I wanted to show you was up here where it says compose a message. So I can compose a message here. I can put in whatever I want, and I've got all my different accounts. See all these different accounts? I manage all these accounts for different. Well, I don't manage them all. I mean, these are LinkedIn groups that I can post to as well. So if I'm in a member of a number of different groups, let's go in different writers groups, Janelle, I can go and post this same message to all of my groups at once. So I don't have to log in and log out. I can add a link there. So if I wanted to add a specific link, this is just Google, I'm putting a link in there. But what it does is it actually shrinks. Now, you know, sometimes if you go to a page, let's say for instance, you go to a page, I'm going to go to Mashables, which is just a news site. I'm just going to click on any link. See up the top here, this has got a long link up there. See that? The length of that link is quite long, Alan. You see up the top there? I'll highlight that in green. Can you see that? That's quite long, right? Now, if you're going to stick to Twitter, 140 characters, that's half of your tweet just there. Right? That's a lot of real estate for your tweet. There's not much more you can say if you've got a long link like that, and that's actually quite short. Some links are really, really long. So what happens with Hootsuite is that you can come back here and you can I'm going to paste that in there. So I've pasted it in there. And what it does, if I shrink it, it actually shrinks it down to a little tiny link that's about 18 characters long. See that up there? That long link that
What
we
does
just.
it shrink?
How does it shrink?
What does it shrink?
It shrinks the link. So this link up here that I've just put, see that long link up there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you count the characters up there, there is 48 characters right there.
Yeah.
I made that up, I just guessed. I want more skill.
49.
Basically there you add the link right there and then you let it go and shrink itself. It's still the same link, it still goes to the same
That usually
destination.
works within Hootsuite.
In this case, yeah.
Yeah, you can't put that on your website and tell somebody to go to.
Oh, no, you can.
If somebody tells, if I say go to
If
abc.com, that's not gonna, and it can't be a link to put in there, you gotta.
you can put whatever link you want in there, and I can go and copy this now. See this link? I can copy that, and I can put that in anywhere I want. If I went and put that in
A webpage.
on a web page, it would still go to
Oh,
the
is
same
that-
place.
okay.
Yep.
But you have to buy, you have to be using,
No. So I could send you that link on your email, and you can copy it and stick it on your website. It's now that link will never appear the same again anywhere else.
who's doing that?
This is Hootsuite.
That's Hootsuite's doing it. So
Yeah,
you
Hootsuite.
you have to be a Hootsuite customer.
Someone has to have done it
Yeah,
originally.
okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
That's a good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
So
Well, I have
right.
a
So
question.
then, you follow this? Oh,
I have a question.
Jill, yes.
You said like you can use, if you're connecting to 3 different people, then you can use Hootsuite for free?
Yep.
So if you, like, say you're.
3 different platforms of yours. So if you've got a LinkedIn profile, a Twitter account, and a Facebook page, that's where you can connect up for free.
So like sometimes when you click on something you want to forward it, it has like 3 lines of that stuff, right? So you could actually for free go to Hootsuite and shrink it down and then send it to somebody?
You can do that through Hootsuite. There's other tools that do that for
Oh,
free too.
okay.
Google.
bit.ly is a free URL shortener as well.
Oh, okay.
You can do that as well. Yeah, there's a number of those tools. The other cool thing that I was going to show you was you can actually schedule it. So I can say, well, I'm going to go and schedule this. I want to schedule this for the 22nd of October, and I want to schedule it at 6:45 p.m. And I click on save, or I click on schedule, and it automatically puts that in the schedule form. So I know that on that date, at that time, bang, that message with that little link there will go out at the right time. It will go to these accounts that I wanted to add up to the top. You can see all 4 of those. There it is there. So it's a great little scheduler. I'm not going to go into too much more because I don't want to fry your brain, but just understand that it's a really cool tool to do this. Is that good, Alan? Do you like that?
And I'm curious, I mean, because they have the all, is that because it's, the all is wise? I mean, why did they come up with the hoot? What's the hoot connected to?
Ask them. I'm not sure.
Because
Not
Gabby
sure.
was taken.
Probably could spend a while talking about that, but I really don't know.
was
So,
thinking.
Why do they call it Apple?
you know, and who cares? Yeah.
Curious.
Okay. All right. So that was Hootsuite. The other one that I wanted to show you was Buffer. So here's Buffer. Buffer is pretty plain. It's not as in depth as what Hootsuite is, and you can get this for a free version as well. But over here on the left-hand side, I've got my different accounts, so you can see my social media, like Twitter account, my Andy Mac Twitter account, another Twitter account, Google pages, LinkedIn pages, Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn profiles. Now,
Those are your accounts.
These are my
It has
accounts.
nothing to do with your clients,
No, this is just mine. This is my personal.
your library.
This is my own account, my social footprint, if you like. So today you can see that I've got all of these things going out. 8:48. So what time is it now? It's 8:46. So in 2 minutes' time, this thing here will go out to my social media blog Twitter account.
And how many people will that go to?
This one's about 35,000.
35,000 people?
So that's my Twitter account. I've been working on it for a while. That's my small
Well,
account.
this has ended my education here. I had going to 38,000 people with a click.
Well, this one here, 906 will go to 74,000.
Wow.
But that's another story.
How about if you were American? I'm sorry.
So anyway, can you see? So here's my schedule. So over the top here, here's my schedule. I've scheduled these times. So for this account here, you can see I've set up 7 times that's going to be good for me. So these specific times here are when you'll see this particular program schedule out my. So I'm setting at 7 a day. Now I can actually pick each day. Like maybe Tuesday's my audience are on any social media.
So help me, how do you read the numbers across?
It's called a clock.
Well, I don't know.
I might just throw in the window.
Okay.
It's 1 o'clock, 1:05 p.m.,
Oh, okay.
12:03 p.m.
Oh, I get it now.
11:50 p.m.
All right, I wasn't
Okay,
capturing.
so that's just says posted these times every day.
Secret code.
So you're
35,000, and you will get some response.
I get some response. I get some
How
non-response.
many? 1,000?
No, I won't be 1,000. Depends. Depends on how many people online at the time.
That's all that have respect for what you're sending.
No, well, here's the thing with Twitter is Twitter's moving so fast that not everyone will see it. And then here's another thing about Twitter, by the way, is that if you send a message out on Twitter and it's a message and you've got 100 followers, not all of them are going to see that. Now, it's okay to send the same message again later. Have you ever been driving in a car listening to the news on the radio at 7 a.m. or whatever, and you hear the news, and then at 7:30, is it new news or is it exactly the same as what they said
Exactly the same.
before? And at 8 o'clock, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Well, why do they do that? Because they know that there's an audience that's in transit, which is in transit between them. Twitter's the same thing. You can post the same thing out on a regular basis too.
Very happens, watch, at 10 o'clock, watch the Channel 2 news on Channel 11, and at 11 o'clock, watch Channel 2 news. It's a repeat. They don't do it twice. They just basically do it between 10 and 10:30, and then they go home.
So anyway, that's Buffer, right? So that's Buffer. Buffer's a cool tool that I use to do that. Now, if I'm over here on my little on this account here, what I do like about Buffer and also Hootsuite is that there's a little symbol, like a little add-on you can use for your right at the top here. A little symbol you can use for your browser. So only Chrome right now, but if you're in Firefox or Safari, you can use these as well. But basically what it does is if I click on that little button, it grabs the URL of the page that I'm I'm on up the top here, because maybe I want to share this article with my followers. Okay, it's a great article. 13 frightening Halloween decorations to spook your guests. I want everyone to know about that. So I don't have to go and copy and paste and stick it into Hootsuite. I can click on the little button up the very top there.
What do you call it again? That button?
That's just called the buffer button.
This program is buffer.
This I'm in buffer right now. I can click on that, and automatically it will put up the headline of the actual post,
Me?
and it will give me a shortened URL automatically.
Right.
So it shortens that long URL up there, it shortens it already.
Oh,
And then it says, which accounts do you want to send this information out to? Here are my accounts. My social media Twitter, my Handy Mac Twitter, my Autopilot Twitter, I've got my Google Plus, I've got LinkedIn, I've got Facebook and LinkedIn as well. There's also Pinterest in there.
and if you didn't want to send it to one particular one,
Correct.
what would you do?
I just click on it, and let's say I want to send it to my LinkedIn account or my Facebook.
Oh,
Like I don't
okay.
want to send it to any of
Oh.
those. I just want to send it to my 3 Twitter accounts.
Yeah, yeah.
There it is. There. Click add to queue. It goes into my queue, waiting for the time, the record to come out at that time, and it posts it out at the end
That's
of the day.
very cool.
But you could automatically just share right there where it says share on Facebook, right, on the page itself.
I can do that if I wanted to, like here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can do that, but it just goes to Facebook right now. What if I didn't want to go right now? What if I'm reading it right now,
Oh,
but it's not when my audience should be reading this?
oh, okay.
I don't want to do
Send it
that.
at- Send it at the time you're scheduled.
When I want to put it in front of people with the best possible time.
Oh, okay,
And that's what buffer lets me do.
okay.
Because right now, I can share this on Twitter right now. If I click on this, it'll come up and it'll fill it. I've got to log in, but it'll say, there it is there. It's also got a really long URL, but I don't want to share with my people right now because I just posted something a minute ago according to my buffer, and I don't want to have 2 things right next to each other. Right? So that's what buffer is. That's what buffer is. The other 2 that we spoke about, I'm going to quickly just show you Zapier. I know we've only got a couple of minutes left, but Zapier has a whole range of, in fact, I think it has over 500 different apps that it can connect to. So if I'm going to show you, let me just give you an idea of what this looks like. You can
Is there a
search
special page you can retain this from to
Yes.
find out about all these apps?
just Zapier.com.
What is it?
Zapier.com.
Oh,
But here are all the tools, here are all the programs that it lets you hook up with. Calendars, so it lets you do things like, hey, if there's an event on my calendar, send a text to my phone. Or if somebody puts an event on my public calendar, send me a text so I know. You can do all sorts of things. There'll be programs in here you've never heard of. There's programs in here I've never heard of either. I mean, Pipedrive, I've never heard of what that is. I don't know what it does, but somebody uses it. Okay, so they've created a Zapier account for it. LinkedIn is there. You've got all sorts of QuickBooks. So if someone creates an invoice or sends you an invoice, you can automatically do all sorts of things. You can email it to somebody else that needs to pay it or whatever it may be. So you can have a look at that and just go, wow, this is sort of mind-blowing.
there's so many.
500. There's over 500 of them. But as I said, there's all sorts of things. Charting, if you do stock market stuff, there's all sorts of stock market stuff you can do and connect to each other as well. Then that's that one there. And then the last one I want to show you is the IFTTT, which is if this, then that. And they call them recipes. Now, there's all sorts of recipes that have been created for other people already. You can just copy those recipes. You don't have to come up and create your own as well.
Recipes.
Recipes is if something is done, then something else happens. That's what they call a recipe. So,
Not a recipe for pumpkin pie.
not a recipe for pumpkin pie, but a recipe for here. This one here. This is a mute your phone when you arrive at work recipe. So automatically it knows that if your phone, because it's GPS, if it knows that it's reaching the coordinates of this building, it automatically mutes your phone for you because you're in this place. Now, if that's something you want, you can just copy that recipe and make it work for you. There's an app for that. Yeah,
And there's a charge for each recipe then?
this is free. People make this. It's open-ended. People are just making these because somebody said I need to have my phone muted every time I go to work, so they made it and make it public. Save new photos you take to Google Drive. This is one of the recipes that we could use for my client. As soon as he takes a photo, it can go to Google Drive. which has access for other people to look at those photos. At 7 a.m., receive a notification with the day's forecast. You can get that sort of stuff. Track how much time you spend at a certain location. There you go. Put that on your, set that up on someone's phone, your wife's phone. How long do you spend at the shop?
How often you contact the same one?
What's that?
How often you contacted the same client?
Yeah, you can do that sort of thing. You can do all sorts of things like that. So there's recipes you can just go through here, look at things and go, wow, why would you not want that? And then again, there's things that go, wow, that's interesting, I could use that.
And that's
So-
an if, then.
If ifttt.com. You know, one of the reasons I use this is GoPro. Has everyone heard of GoPro? GoPro is the little video camera that sits on people's head. You know, we're seeing real action videos of people jumping off cliffs and all that sort of stuff. That's a GoPro camera. And GoPro, their Twitter account is open so that people who take good photos with their GoPro, they send it off to the GoPro account. Well, I think the photos that they send are really good, so I've made a little recipe that every time there's a new photo on the GoPro account, I want to post that on my Twitter account. So now I'm getting other people in the world to be taking photos, and I'm just using that photo to post to my Twitter account. I'm getting a lot of interaction on my account because I'm showing this photo from somebody else's account, but it's all set up through a recipe. So now I'm fulfilling my Twitter content with other people's content. Does that make sense?
That classified as plagiarism?
Because it's all sent to a public account. And they set it up in that way to be done like that. This is what this whole content thing is, and this whole social media thing is all about sharing. And people want you to share it because they still get attributed to the photo. Their name is still there. Their links are still there. I'm not taking the photo and deleting the links. I'm still using everything that they've got, and I'm just putting it out there. So it means that GoPro now have a viewership of another 70,000 people, my followers, seeing their photos. They love
Giving
it.
credit to the author.
Totally. It's a great way to get traction. So that's it. That's a couple of those extra cool tools. Have a play with them. Don't get swamped by them. Just go and look at and see what people have already created and see how you can use that for your business.
Thank you.
So like the people that created the recipes, once you use them, then do they get any dollars or cents back? Nothing, it's just all freebies. I don't want freebies.
Feel free. It's a sharing world,
It's pretty cool.
sharing, caring world.
I want to wrap up because I wanted to be a little bit more in depth, but we've got only about 4 or 5 minutes, so this is going to be very, very quick. Anybody interested in making money while they sleep?
Yes.
Nope. Well, that's real quick. No
I
one's
said
interested?
yes, I said yes.
Yes. Well, I thought you were just blabbing.
I'm laughing.
But here's the thing. There's that thing going around that says, hey, we want to make money while we sleep. Well, has anybody ever heard of Amazon?
Yes.
Absolutely. Here's a stat that was staggering. Anybody have any idea how much money Amazon makes on an average day? But let's make it easier. How much they're making per second? $1,084 per second. Okay. So what that means is they're kind of the behemoth in the marketplace. In fact, they are the one out there. The nearest to them is several billion dollars behind them as far as total sales. So what does that mean for you? Well, I'm going to give you a case study. This is a client we work with, and he came to us and we created some content for him and we put him out on the internet. And the whole idea was to sell his product. He said his knowledge base of his clients, probably about 2% of the people who would be ideal clients even know about his product. Like a lot of those 50 apps up there, you didn't know about them, but you exposed them. So we did that, and then we said, you know what? Let's go through this method of Amazon, because you can buy and sell anything on Amazon. You can sell things on Amazon. And so what we did is we put his product on there. Actually, he already had product on there, and up until the time we got to him, which was only several weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So the numbers I'm going to give you are 2 weeks old, or only in a 2 week period of time. Up to that time, the entire year, he'd sold $1,000 worth of product on his Amazon account. Okay, so we went in there, we did some things, we made him a different type of seller, we did some advertising for him, which, by the way, the numbers we're talking about to get the sales we're talking about, he spent $54. He spent $54 to generate this amount of sales. In the last 2 weeks, we just got the information back. Amy, what was it?
$4,500.
$4,500 is now what he's done. Now, here's how we've automated it for him. First of all, we made a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet, because he keeps this stuff in his garage, because normally it'd be one of those things he'd call, Janelle would call him and say, hey, I want your product, and he would get in there and go to the house and install it. Well, now this is the way it works for him. It's another stream of income for him. He's still gonna do the other piece, right? But this is now a new stream of income for him. What happens is, now Janelle goes and she's in Massachusetts and said, I want this product. She goes to Amazon. Because of the way we've worked it, he owns the page. Whenever you go there to buy his product, he's the only guy that shows up. Anybody use Amazon? They love Amazon Prime. Do you have Amazon Prime? What's Amazon Prime?
On Amazon.
It's free shipping. Who wants to pay for shipping if it's free, right? So Amazon wants to take care of you as a customer, so they put the Amazon Prime shipping up there first, okay? He is Amazon Prime, not by accident, but by design. And so what happens is, you order it, it comes out of their inventory that we stock, but we made this spreadsheet that said, hey, he typically keeps his product in his garage, right? And so what we did is we said, let's put this inventory list together. We put it online, it's a live document on Google Accounts, and now if he were to sell something, let's say he does go to Linda's house and installs a product, it automatically takes it out of that inventory list. So now we put that against also the stuff that's happened online. We say, well, he sold 10 items over here, and he has 50 more in stock, or he sold 10, so now he has 40 more in stock, but we need to replenish this. We know this online. Now, instead of us going to his house once a week and physically doing it, we can generate this all online. We can actually send him a report, or excuse me, a packing list that says, hey, take this. This is the product you need to put in the box. Here's your shipping thing to put on top, and go put it to UPS. That's all automated. Now, the amount of time he's put in this to make that $4,500, he's put in about 45 minutes to an hour of his time. And now it'll go down even more because it's even more automated. Maybe you should just answer that.
No.
I think he did it if then that. When it comes to 9 o'clock, we're done.
What's his product?
His product is he sells home flood prevention products. So in other words, what happens is, let's say you're away or you're at home. Believe it or not, most floods happen when you're home, right, Amy?
Yes.
She had this happen. She comes home, her husband's home. She hears the water running in the bathroom. She's thinking he's taking a shower. If I'm off track on this, correct me. Okay, so she's in there, she's doing things. She says, he's been a long time taking a shower.
Oh my God.
And so she goes down the hallway and she starts walking in water, opens the door in the spare bathroom, water is shooting out from behind the toilet. So now she has to figure out how to turn this water off. In what, 20, 30 minutes?
To turn the valve off.
No, it blew off.
Okay, in about 30 minutes, roughly $5,000 worth of damage was handled, was done, and it took about a month to get it all back to normal.
Yeah.
So a month of her life. What this system would do is at the first sign of drop, when we did a demonstration, go out, that much moisture hits the sensors, shuts off your water. And then you have a panel that says, hey, your water's been shut off, it's number such and such, which is your hot water heater. Now you can go specifically do that and take care of it. And there's no damage. So this is what he sells. And it's we thought it was a very tough market to start out because we had many people wanting to come and watch this TV show that we created for him and whatnot, but no one was taking action. So we said, let's go to some place where they're already buyers. They're already buyers. That's just, and this is just one example. So yes, ma'am.
Oh, go ahead.
So if you have a product and you're saying, how do I get it sold? Think of Amazon. Even if you don't have a product but you want to use Amazon, there's a way to become a seller on Amazon of somebody else's product and get paid for it. How cool is that?
Illegal.
And how would you like to sell somebody's product that shows that they're one of the most popular products on Amazon and then put it up there and get paid for it? It can happen. Now we're going to go into that. I just want to expose you to that. One of the things we do is we work with people who are speakers, who are teachers. So we're going to take their product, we're going to compile it into DVDs, sell it online, and then it allows them to make money while they sleep. So there's a lot of things you can do that automatically change the way it used to happen. So this is just, yes, ma'am.
Are you gonna teach a class on this? Because I have a friend, one of these, a co-chair on this, co-chair, he's not president. You know, he's got a bunch of things that he's been unloading, but he's been using eBay, and he had something that was supposed to go to, I think Washington, and it went overseas instead. And so,
Whoops.
and then, you know, I was told, because I have some friends in Michigan and they're making a lot of money on Amazon, but then they're delivering it to the Amazon warehouse, and I guess there's an Amazon warehouse up here in Cabazon. I thought you had to like pick it up and take it up there and deliver it, and then they ship it out from there.
No.
Yeah, no,
It's
not,
stock for you.
yeah, not, you can do it one of two ways. When we first got with this gentleman, he was doing it the way that says, hey, somebody bought his product, he would be the fulfillment center. In other words, he would ship it to them. But what happens is Amazon says, wait a second, that's not giving our clients the best customer service.
Right.
We want you to send us inventory. So when somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning, I think we got several sales overnight at 3:24 or 5:58, that they said, hey, somebody bought your product, we've shipped it. Well, that's what we want to have happen. That's efficient, right? And then as that inventory goes down, we're notified, we replenish inventory. So that's the best way to do it. That is the best way. Now I want to give you one other thing, and then we're going to wrap this up. There's another product we use, which is called rev.com. We have a client, we just did 16 webinars for her. And as we're talking to her, said, hey, you've got great content. Why not take this content and turn it into a book? And she said, yeah, I don't have time to write a book. We'll take care of it for you. In one day, we took those 16 webinars. Actually, we condensed them down to 10 because there was one specific thing. We sent it to this product, or this company called rev.com. And they have people physically transcribe it and send it back to us. In one day, we wrote all the content for her, and now it's in her Dropbox. So now she can go back in and edit it instead of had to rewrite it. So we captured her video, right? Sent it to them. They transcribed it into a written document, an editable document. We send it to her, and she can say, wait a minute, now I need to do this. I need to do this. Like if I wanted to take this, we're recording this, if I wanted to turn this into a downloadable PDF, if you will, I could send it to them. They could send it back to me. I could put it on my website and say, hey, if you weren't attending, but you wanted to didn't want to take notes, just download this. Now here's it.
Was it Red or Rev?
Rev, REV.com. Now here's the coolest part. It's very inexpensive. It's $1 a minute.
Wow.
So if you do a 20-minute speech or a 20-minute talk, it costs $20. That's pretty cheap.
Put it in the can.
Put it in the can, it comes back to you. And here's the wild thing. We have a client we do this for every morning. They do daily inspirational talks, one of the churches here in the Valley. We get online, we record it, send it to them. It comes back to us done. We put it on their website. The whole process from start to finish, turn the computer on until turn it off, 30 minutes. But somebody else did all the work. That's automation, gang. And they're paying us to do this.
How long is the message?
These are usually under 2 minutes.
Oh, under 2
Yeah,
minutes.
under 2
30
minutes.
to do it.
From start to finish.
Right.
And it's accurate. It actually is amazing. But like these webinars, they were 60 minutes long.
Right.
We sent them 10 2 days ago. Before the day was over, they were all done. Done. In years past, how much time would be spent, and how expensive it would be to hire somebody to type all that out, to write that screenplay? Because we speak on average 160 words a minute. How many people do you know or you type 160 words a minute? Pretty tough. And the accuracy is amazing.
Dragon.
So that's another thing.
Is there anybody that's doing it in reverse if you have the written material and you want them to do the webinar?
Would you rather do that? Yeah, they do that. In fact, one of our clients who came to SCORE, we filmed his video and then we sent it to the same company, Rev, and we did the same video in the foreign language. In this case, he was going to China, so we did it in subtitles in Chinese, because then it allowed them to say, hey, you're his client in China, but she's having trouble explaining to Alan, who's also in China, Chinese, how to do this stuff. So she just shares the video or the link with him, and now the doctor explains all that's going on, and it's in their language. How cool is that? So those are just, I mean, we could go on and on for hours on that, but these are some of the things that can be life-changing, industry disrupting. It's amazing.
It is.
And
So-
you are thinking about setting up a class on how to do the Amazon?
We'll talk to Ron about that when we wrap up.
I think that would be very
So-
interesting.
I think
Now,
quite a
couple-
few people.
couple of things, yeah, okay, couple things that are coming up.
Okay.
Okay, on the 14th, I believe, there is a great webinar by Carl Woodard. He's going to be doing it here live in the evening on Tuesday evening. It's $25 and a live event, live
Here.
seminar right here. Okay, that's on the 14th. On the 13th, the day before, we're going to be at La Quinta Chamber of Commerce for sure, and there we'll be talking about video. But I promise you this: if you've been to one of our video classes, it'll be nothing like it because everything is changing daily. Everything is changing daily. So we're going to show you how to do something we did yesterday with a client, and it went live instantly, and it will keep this whole idea of, hey, it's a lot of work to a minimum because we want you to have more fun. We want you to have that 7 hours extra with
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
So thank you, and Ron. Any other?
I just passed out the
Were
evaluation
you gonna
forms.
tell them that
Please.
you're also gonna be at La India too?
They're coming up in a couple of ways.
All right.
So
Everything's on the website right now.
So do me a favor, fill those out. Please get them back to Ron. If you didn't sign up for this, and there's 3 out of 4 people who have signed up, so we know there's oh no, you signed in. So if you do me a favor, also give the written copy because from a governmental standpoint, we want to make sure that's accurate for Ron. So
We have to keep the government happy.
So-
That's our funding.
So thank you for coming. We
Thank you.
appreciate that. Please see Andrew if you need any automation tools. See Amy if you need any automation tools, and I'll be out there having a donut and some coffee. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Excellent.
you, Ron.